Summary book. The Goal, A Process of Ongoing Improvement by Eliyahu M. Goldratt and Jeff Cox. The Goal is a business novel that explores the theory of constraints talk, a management philosophy developed by Eliyahu M. Goldratt. Through a narrative-driven approach, the book illustrates how a manufacturing plant manager, Alex Rogo, addresses critical operational issues by implementing talk to achieve continuous improvement, increase productivity, and ultimately, save his plant from closure. Introduction: The Challenge. The story begins with Alex Rogo, a production manager at a struggling manufacturing plant in the fictional town of Barrington. The plant is underperforming, and its future is in jeopardy. The company's executives have given Alex a 3-month ultimatum to turn things around or face closure. Faced with this pressure, Alex sets out on a journey to find a solution to the problems plaguing his plant. As the plant's operations continue to decline, Alex faces several challenges, including inefficiency, missed deadlines, inventory issues, and overall poor financial performance. He is on the verge of losing his job, his family, and his career. The mentor, Jonah. In the midst of this crisis, Alex reconnects with an old physics professor, Jonah, who becomes his mentor throughout the book. Jonah introduces Alex to a series of management principles, leading to the development of the theory of constraints talk. Jonah challenges Alex to rethink the plant's operations and understand the root causes of its issues. Jonah's advice is simple yet profound: the goal of any business is to make money, and every system like a manufacturing plant has constraints or bottlenecks that limit its ability to achieve that goal. To improve performance, these constraints must be identified and addressed. Jonah helps Alex understand that increasing efficiency without addressing the bottleneck would be futile. The theory of constraints talk. The theory of constraints is a methodology for identifying and managing the most significant limiting factor, the constraint that restricts the achievement of a goal. Talk follows a specific 5-step process. Identify the constraint. The first step is to pinpoint the constraint or bottleneck in the system, whether it's a machine, process, or resource. This is the key limitation preventing the plant from meeting production goals. Exploit the constraint. Once the constraint is identified, the next step is to fully utilize the constraint. This involves ensuring that the constraint is working at its full capacity without unnecessary downtime, maintenance issues, or inefficiencies. Subordinate everything else to the constraint. All other resources and processes should be aligned to support the constraint. This means adjusting the rest of the system to ensure that the constraint is not underused or held up by other parts of the system. Elevate the constraint. If the constraint remains a limiting factor after optimization, steps should be taken to increase its capacity. This could involve adding more resources, upgrading technology, or re-engineering processes. Repeat the process. Once one constraint is resolved, another constraint will inevitably appear. The process of identifying, exploiting, and elevating constraints is a continuous cycle of improvement. These principles form the backbone of the book, and as Alex implements them at the plant, he begins to see significant improvements in production flow, lead times, and profitability. The application of talk at the plant. As Alex works to implement talk, he starts by examining the production flow of the plant. Initially, he discovers several areas of inefficiency, including machines that are underutilized, workers who are not fully trained or equipped, and a lack of communication between departments. By identifying the bottleneck in the system, the specific machine or process that limits production, Alex can start to implement the talk steps. He begins optimizing the constraint, adjusting workflows, and reassigning tasks to maximize throughput. Through this process, Alex's team learns to focus on improving the areas that have the most significant impact on overall performance rather than getting distracted by trivial inefficiencies. The plant starts to increase its output while reducing lead time, inventory, and waste. The human element. In addition to the technical and operational aspects of talk, the goal also explores the human element of implementing change in an organization. Alex faces resistance from some employees who are skeptical of new methods, especially those who feel threatened by the changes or fear that they might lose their jobs. One key subplot in the book involves Alex's relationship with his family. His personal life is also in turmoil, with his marriage on the rocks due to his workaholic behavior. As Alex starts to apply talk in the plant, he realizes that the same principles of continuous improvement can be applied to his personal life, and he works on strengthening his relationships as well. The results: a transformed plant. By applying the talk steps and focusing on the plant's constraints, Alex manages to increase production, reduce lead time, and improve the plant's overall financial performance. He successfully meets the 3-month deadline set by his company's executives, saving the plant from closure. Moreover, Alex's application of talk leads to a culture of continuous improvement in the plant, with employees becoming more engaged and invested in the success of the business. The plant becomes a model of efficiency, and Alex is promoted to a higher position within the company. Conclusion: the ongoing process of improvement. In the final chapters, the plant's success is celebrated, but Alex and his team realize that the process of ongoing improvement is never-ending. They must continue to identify and address new constraints, adapting to changing circumstances and market demands. The story concludes with Alex reflecting on his journey and the broader lesson of the book: business is an ongoing process of improvement, and success requires constant attention to constraints, collaboration, and a commitment to making incremental changes that lead to long-term results. Key takeaways and lessons: the goal of any business is to make money. Everything a company does should be aligned with the goal of generating profit. Operations and decisions must contribute to this ultimate aim. Identify and manage constraints. Every system has limitations. Identifying the constraint and addressing it is key to improving performance. Talk provides a framework for continuously identifying and managing these bottlenecks. Focus on continuous improvement. Improvement is an ongoing process. After addressing one constraint, the next one will inevitably arise, and it's important to stay focused on making incremental, continuous improvements. Collaboration and alignment. Successful implementation of talk requires teamwork and alignment across the organization. All departments must work together to ensure that the constraint is supported and the system operates efficiently. The human element. Successful change management involves addressing human resistance and fostering an environment of open communication and collaboration. Leaders must balance technical solutions with people management. The power of small changes. Even small changes in how resources are used, how workers are trained, or how processes are managed can have a massive impact on overall performance. Conclusion: the goal is a compelling, informative, and practical business novel that introduces readers to the theory of constraints, a powerful management methodology for improving operational efficiency. Through a relatable story, Goldratt and Cox illustrate how talk can be applied to solve real-world business challenges, resulting in increased productivity, profitability, and sustainable improvement.